In this video, it's a Citroën C4, and it's a Citroën C4 you could win. Kitch, my friend at Up and Down Videos, is doing a £1 prize draw on this very car. So if you want a chance to win this for £1, go for it. I've bought a few tickets. But let's talk a bit about C4 history, the weirdness of the back end of this car, and the strange steering wheel. So the C4 was launched in 2004, and I remember it coming out and just being amazed, because Citroën previously had been building the rather dowdy Citroën Zara, which followed on from the attractive but not very exciting ZX. And lovely cars they are, I hasten to point out, but this really was something a bit different. We're in the grounds of Titchfield Abbey here, so there's a striking difference of backdrop compared to the car, but the free door was the one that got all the attention. It turned into a dancing robot in a TV advert, and you got this really weird styling, blue tinged rear lights, spoiler on this one because it's the sporty VTS, and yeah, the tiniest little rear wiper ever fitted to a car, possibly, until the MG4, I'm going to say. So yeah, the free door, wacky and weird, very, very strange, and just so unusual, and just a massive leap forward. And this was a time when Citroën was really ramping up the quality as well. So the interior was pretty nice. The 5-door was a lot more plain at the back. You see more 5 doors around. The 3 doors, for some reason, don't seem very popular. But let's have a peek under the bonnet. For VTS means sporty. This engine is the EW10JS, the sporty version, 180 PS, so about 178 brake horsepower. Look at the tubular manifold, looking quite menacing here. The engine sort of canted back under the bulkhead with its twin cams. Imagine doing cam belt change rather, is not exactly fun. But it's the engine and transmission straight out of a Peugeot 206 GTI, and the gearing is a little peculiar, as we'll see, but it certainly sounds very purposeful. And yeah, look, you can see the alternator, so that's good. But there's a range of engines from 1.4 petrol, which I think was a descendant of the old TU engine, up to this 180 horsepower petrol, and then with the diesels as well, up to the 2-litre HDI. We've got some clever features. We've got headlamps that actually follow you around corners, just like the main beam on a Citroën DS from the late 1960s through to the end of production in 75. So that's a nice nod. There is some technology creeping back into this car. This one has been lowered a bit, and that will present some issues as we go down the road. But we've got interesting wipers as well. A bit of a preference for left-hand drive, unsurprisingly. But there you go, an engine that looks a bit like an engine. So we better have a look in the boot. There's an electric boot release. Up she goes, and a strange old shape. There is a parcel shelf that lifts up. There's my luggage, because I'm staying down here at the moment. Oh, there is a timing belt kit in the back. Has it been fitted yet? I've no idea. And also a spare stereo, for reasons. So a decent amount of storage back there. That is quite good. And of course the rear seat folds as well. The 5-door offering more practicality. Or they did a Picasso version of the C4 as well, for even more practicality. One downside of the 3-door is the doors are massive. Look at the size of them. They're absolutely huge. So getting in and out in a tight car park in Spot is perhaps not the best, but I've noticed the passenger door does swing, but this door does not. Let's hop around, because when we open this door, it's got this bit. Why does that do that? I don't know, but it actually covers up the bonnet release, which of course is on the passenger side, so you can't accidentally open the bonnet without opening the door. I don't understand. All very peculiar. But we'll head back around again. And obviously the main talking point is the crazy steering wheel. I've left some lock on just to show you. So the rim is now locked, goes around, the middle does not. Not a new thing. 1930s cars were doing this, and even earlier, because they would often have engine controls mounted to them. But got the sporty bucket seats, in this car, and very supportive, very comfortable, sort of Alcantara and then sort of just regular material. And pull the thing. It's a bit of a game, isn't it? Oh, in we come. Let's pull the seat back. And yeah, enough room for me. I would have to pull the head restraint up. Obviously, I'm not going to bother that for just sitting here. It looks like we should have an armrest, maybe. How do you get it out? Oh, there we go. Not a little tab or anything on it. A bit of storage, cup holders in there. That doesn't feel the most robust. But when they were new, they definitely felt a bit better than previous Citroëns. A bit caged in, can't open the rear windows. But a bit of storage there. A bit of storage down the side. So not bad from an adult sitting in the back point of view. But I think I really want to be in the front. So yes, the steering wheel is a very strange thing to use, but it actually feels very normal, and it stops you grabbing the spokes or anything. Look, we've got controls for menus and the stereo and cruise control all set here on the wheel, and the horn, oh, good horn, down the bottom there. There's a little info display ahead, and also you get indicators and your light indications on this little area just here right in front of you. And the screen isn't flickering, but that's your rev counter, that's your stereo controls, and then you've got the main display up here. And although it is in the middle, because it's set so far back, it's not actually too far out of your line of sight when you're driving down the road, so it works quite well. It's not like it's here, which would be way too close. There's something here that won't open. I'm pretty sure it opened the other day. There's something here that opens for a bit of storage. We've got some buttons down here for the electronic stability program, parking sensors off and alarm off. There's your window controls. Gear lever here, feels very PSA, i.e. a bit wobbly and baggy. Handbrake, 12 volt power outlet and cigarette lighter and cup holder. I don't think we've got any pop out cup holders. Air conditioning, MP3 player, and a glove box offering a decent amount of space, but sadly a slightly broken handle, which Kish is a little annoyed about because he's already replaced it once. But yeah, very nice in here. Cue dramatic change of scene. Let's see what this car's actually like to drive. Windscreen washers have been a little hit and miss. Let's see what we get. There we go. And we've got automatic wipers as well. That's what all this gubbins behind the mirror is. Good overlap because of that wiping pattern, and pretty decent performance, I would say. We don't talk about the rear wiper. What even is the point? Oh. In fact, I will show you the rear view in the mirror and whatever this is all over the mirror a little later on. But let's go for a drive. There's a bit of a strange resonance going on. I don't know if that's coming up across on the camera, but it's a car that doesn't really feel at home around town. It's got those lowered springs, so the ride is definitely not entirely Citroën. It's not terrible, but it's definitely a little more jarring than perhaps you expect. But good visibility with these enormous windows and good door mirrors. Clutch is a little heavy and feels a little old, but this car's done 180,000 miles, and when you give it a bootful, weirdly, I think it sounds 1970s. I'm getting, it's something between a Marina, and I mean the sporty Marinas, and a Mini, because there's a little bit of transmission whine in there as well. It's not quite what you expect. It looks like a car that should be refined and well behaved, and it sounds like an absolute hooligan weapon from yesteryear. It's most peculiar. The steering weights up really nicely. And yeah, the steering wheel, the novelty of it just never really wears off. You just got to make sure you don't trap your thumbs, but I have never done that. You just have to keep your hands on the rim, and then it's absolutely fine. It behaves much like a steering wheel should. But I did drive one of these when they were current. I went to a dealer, took one out, and it obviously kind of left too much of an impression on me, because I've barely thought about them since. other than realising that you don't see them around anymore. They've become very rare, especially the 3-door. And I think that's because on the used market, oh, it hasn't got the free flash. On the used market, a 3-door is not a very much desired car, because obviously people are after cheap family transport, and a 3-door is probably not the way to go. But yeah, it's got decent enough manners, apart from that slightly heavy clutch, but it could just be it's an old clutch. 180,000 miles, God knows when the clutch was changed, if it has been. PSA products of this time can be surprisingly gentle on clutches. But you may already be detecting that's third gear at 24 miles an hour. The gearing is definitely on the low side. It's sporty 206 GTI gearing, which has its downsides when you get more speed on. So we're cruising at 40-ish miles an hour. We're already doing a smidge over 2,000 revs. So gearing is definitely not motorway cruiser levels. I'm upsetting people because I'm driving. Believe it or not, I am speeding, but not speeding enough for the locals. They don't seem much to care, but I see my favourite sign coming up, the old national speed limit. So I'm going to do a downshift to third and floor it, and we'll see what happens. Makes a lot of noise. It doesn't really go very quickly. It's probably a fair bit heavier than a 206 GTI, but it's crying out for more gears, isn't it? It's doing almost 3,500 revs at 70 miles an hour, and the gears are all stacked very close together. The one I drove was the 2-litre HDI, which is obviously a lot more relaxing. I don't know if they got the 110 brake horsepower. The 90 was the one that most cars had around that sort of time. But yeah, over this somewhat broken up ground, it's not the best. It sounds so much faster than it actually is. He's also engaging hooligan mode. But really good brakes, and it just seems to handle really well. It just isn't fast at all. But that's the speed limit, so maybe that's a good thing. Hard on the brakes, round we go, grips nicely. Yeah, it's an engine that it hasn't got a lot to give low down. It's you have to get it revving, or just basically nothing happens. It's above 4,000 it starts waking up a bit, but other than that it's pretty low. Hard to launch well, but it's a real booming induction roar. But yeah, I think some of it is the resonance, the exhaust. Kitch has been trying to find this resonance, whether the exhaust is just very slightly touching somewhere, and oh, this is a great car to drive quickly. Less good for cruising down a motorway. This is a lot of fun for £1. God, I feel just like Sebastian Loeb, only a lot more rubbish. Well, that was a lot of fun. It may not be a perfect city car, but get it out on these twisty roads, absolutely hilarious. Lovely weight to the steering, and the noises, wow. So crazy. I will say I don't think that's the best home for that engine and gearbox combo. I think a 206 would probably be a lot more fun, a lot more nimble, but it's still a right laugh. But what you're really been offered here is something very, very different and unusual looking for £1. So I'll put a link to Kitch's raffle down below. I've got my own raffle running, but hey, I'm going to promote someone else's because that's how I work. And maybe you could be a winner. A huge thanks to Kitch for letting me have a quick drive, of the C4. And I hope you've enjoyed watching. Don't forget you can head to the Hubnut store to buy lovely merchandise if you so wish. I'll see you in a future video. Farewell. Yes, the rear view. That is it. That is where the mirror is. And you got this split rear window, and it tends to, I find the line is right where I want to see the cars behind. Maybe it's just me, but let's do a rear wash wipe. Tiny little wiper, and of course that's just a reflection. There isn't one on the top half, so if the top half gets wet you really can't see out the back at all. Is that form over function? I think it might be. Kitch likes it. Kitch is strange.